There is a psychological phenomenon called social pain, and neuroscientists at UCLA discovered that being rejected by a group activates the exact same neural pathways as physical pain, which means when everyone turns against you, your brain is literally processing it like getting stabbed. And that is why most people immediately collapse, apologize, and shrink themselves back into the group. Because the brain will do anything to stop that pain, even if it means destroying the person you were becoming. But here is what they never told you. That same study found that people who pushed through social pain without retreating developed something extraordinary, a psychological independence so deep that external validation literally lost its neurological grip on them. And that is the hidden gift inside your darkest season. When the people around you suddenly go cold, when the energy shifts, when you walk into rooms and conversations stop, your nervous system screams danger and your cortisol spikes, and every survival instinct pulls you toward explanation, defense, and people-pleasing. But the moment you open your mouth to justify yourself to people who have already decided, you hand them the most dangerous weapon they can have against you, which is your emotional reactivity, your need to be understood, your hunger for their approval. Psychologist Albert Bandura spent decades studying self-efficacy, the internal belief in your own capability, and what he found was that the single most powerful builder of genuine self-efficacy was not success. It was surviving adversity without breaking, because every time you stay composed while the world pressures you to fold, your brain literally rewires itself to trust you more. And that internal trust becomes a foundation that no external opinion can shake. The mistake you are making right now is that you are treating their opposition as a verdict. You are letting a group of people whose lives are not working tell you that yours won't either. And that is like taking medical advice from someone who has never studied medicine. Their judgment about your potential is only a reflection of the ceiling they have accepted for themselves, not a measurement of how high you can actually go. Carl Jung called it the shadow projection. Humans are psychologically wired to attack in others what they are most afraid to confront in themselves. Which means, when your growth threatens the people around you, their aggression is not really about you at all. It is about the mirror you are holding up to their own unlived potential, their own abandoned dreams, their own silent resignation. And the most unsettling thing you can do to someone like that is simply refuse to stop. Silence becomes your most powerful tool here, not the silence of defeat, but the calculated silence of someone who has decided that their energy belongs only to their vision. And psychologically, this creates something fascinating in the people attacking you, because the human brain cannot tolerate an unresolved loop, and when you stop reacting, they cannot close that loop. So they start obsessing. They start wondering what you know that they don't. They start projecting their own insecurity onto your stillness, and while they are psychologically unraveling, trying to figure out why you won't break, you are quietly building. Behavioral psychology shows us that intermittent reinforcement creates the strongest attachment, which is why you must never let them know how their actions affect you. Because the moment they see consistent emotional impact, they have found the lever. But when your response is unpredictable and predominantly absent, you become psychologically immune to their game. Here is the deepest truth that most people never reach. Isolation, real isolation, strips away every false identity you built to belong to groups that were never aligned with who you actually are. And in that stripped-down state, when the noise is gone and the validation is gone and the social comfort is gone, you finally meet yourself without the costume. And that meeting is terrifying for most people, but for the few who stay in that discomfort long enough, what emerges is not the version of you that was shaped by other people's expectations, but the version that was always underneath, sharper, clearer, and completely unchained. The people who use you as a target today are unknowingly doing something that no mentor, no coach, and no motivational video could ever do for you. They are forcing you to develop psychological sovereignty, which is the rarest human quality on Earth, the ability to generate your own direction, your own standards, and your own sense of worth, completely independent of the crowd. And when you finally have that, truly have it, you will look back at this exact moment not with bitterness, but with something close to gratitude, because this pressure was the forge, and you are the blade being sharpened inside it.